But if you were to say we were to remove this constitution completely, there's going to be a vacuum. What are we going to do after? So first we need to discuss transition, and if you want to go back to the old one, that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
But we need to talk about transitioning back to the old one. Okay, and at the same time, there are things in the old one people were criticizing. So why not create a constitutional review committee where there are senators who know how to write all these things down, a member of the student body, a member of the student union, a member of the student court or the SJD, and a few members of student organizations, and create a survey. What are your criticisms of it? Gather all of this and actually start rewriting it. It's going to take a long time to do this, and it says that it cannot be amended for a year. So when that year comes, rather than just saying نسخة الconstitution, لا يكون عندنا بديل, to have something else to go into it and something much stronger, really including the other people's opinions in it. Sit down, talk about what are your problems, this point. And so Senate's job would be to, okay, fine, change this, put this in. Okay, students didn't get enough allocation, fine, increase the allocation to student organizations. There are criticisms, this is natural, but we can't just say remove it. It's the exact same thing as matalib ضد حلول. You can't just make a demand. No, show me how you want to change it. And this is definitely something that should be done. And go ahead.
That makes sense, but I have a question. Do you like to change the constitution before or the elections? As you elect?
Under this constitution, it can't be changed until next December. So the changes should happen.
Because of the 1 year rule thing.
What do you mean? Because of the 1 year rule. So what I'm saying is, yes, work on changing it now, so we know what we want to change. Okay. So that when we're allowed to change, we make all those changes, and everyone agrees on it.
Yes.
راديو نص الكوباية، ويانا نص الكوباية دايما مليان، عمر كوبايتك ما هتفضى.
اولا يعني انا كلمتي لنص الكوبايه، الحمد لله النهارده نص الكوبايه مليانه. واقصد بكده ان حمله تطوعيه ضخمه بيقوم بيها الشباب في مصر. تم تدريبهم خلاص على مشروع محو الأمية. هينطلقوا في 8 محافظات، 12,000 متطوع علشان يعلموا 120,000 أمي. أنا بدعو الشباب عندكم من خلال هذا الراديو المحترم الجميل اللي جه غطى معانا المبادرة دي، إن أي حد فيكم يحب يشارك معانا، أي حد من الشباب يتصل بيكم وانتوا توصلوه بينا علشان يشارك معانا في هذه الحملة، حملة المحو الأمية على مستوى مصر. وأنا بشكركم إن انتوا جيتوا غطيتوا. عمري خالد.
راديو نص الكوباية، عمر كوبايتك ما هتفضى.
الأخيرة دي قال جل وعلا: الشباب هنا المشاركون في هذه القافلة يقولون بأنه
اتصل على 011.
دكتور مصطفى محمود، أحمد خالد توفيق، عبد الوهاب مطاوع. أيوة، هو ده وقتك.
اسمع برنامج أباجورة مع نهال كمال على راديو نص الكوباية.
Now going to associations. How do you see them in the future if you're a president?
Personally, I would have loved if Omar Sheikha, my vice president, was here today. Yeah. I think he would best answer this because this is his idea, associations. But in my old plan, the last time I ran, I also included an idea similar to associations. And the way that works is you have associations that are for each department. And when these, what do? They try solving the problems of students. So things like, you can't get a course. They're the ones who know best because they're there. المشاكل الطلبة اللي في الديبارتمنتس هم عارفينها أحسن من أي حد.
Yes.
Okay. But they're not the only ones that do that. Senate also supports them. The union used to also support them. So what we are saying is we will provide support for these associations. I think they've done excellent jobs. Some aren't working as excellently as they should. So we'll see what their problems are and try solving them. There are also 2 other associations that haven't been formed because they don't have a department or they don't have a central department. ELI and Undeclared. Sheikh has said that this is one of his personal goals if he wants to set these associations up عشان يساعد الناس اللي undeclared يدخلوا. This is what an undeclared association is supposed to do. So if there's a problem with the declaration, you go to the undeclared association and they solve it for you.
Not for the department.
So it's a matter of, let's say there are 20 people with the same problem. Instead of all 20 of them attacking the department, it's a matter of, fine, just because there are 20 people waiting out, listen to me, it will be easier for you to deal with one person, okay? Or if you don't, again, there's still 20 people bad. يعني أنا جاي أسهل عليكم الموضوع فيا ريت تفتحوا الكلاس وتنجزوا شوية. Do you know what I mean? It's that,
we need this now.
That's the kind of movement and representation that we're talking about, and that's what the associations do. At the same time, they kind of provide like little fun activities for students. I love what the construction association has done, their little lounge, and they got turfy once. I don't know if that was construction or
and there's the physics department, the game that they made.
Spinator, yeah. Spinator, it's a new game in the physics department.
Okay.
It's based on those
you
physics.
Try this.
Oh, nice. Okay. In high school I used to love physics. I wanted to declare physics أصلاً.
But now you're economics,
yeah,
right?
I chose economics because it was, I thought there was similar logic to it. It's a non-science, but there is still a lot of science involved in it.
Yes, sure.
I like that logic, and it tries to define behavior. Chemistry is a little more concrete. This happens, you know. No, physics, you're trying to, okay, if these are the settings, you create the settings, and then you see the relationship it's going to have.
Yes.
And I'm very fascinated with that, so I will stop by.
So you're an economics major. I'm asking you about how you are gonna distribute the SU budget.
Again, one of the things we want to do in this SU is be more financially responsible.
Yes.
So instead of again spending £1 million on Amaliyat and charging students for tickets, we're trying to make it cheaper, more affordable for students. But the union budget is huge. So what are we going to do with it? We're going to do several things. First of all, we're going to have a little more simple, fun events throughout the semester. So instead of saying hanamul flyers everywhere, no, just you come. Hey, today there's free coffee on the union, or there are a few people in the house that like playing guitar. So why not get just speakers and spend on activities the students enjoy doing. The market, for example, it shouldn't be a profit center. Be a cost center. It should be reduced, subsidized prices for students. And I was surprised, someone was telling me and then someone else told me something else, but I'm not sure if this information is true. But point being, quick sales المية بجنيه. The market the market supposedly sells it بجنيه ونص. Why? And it doesn't make any sense. And it buys it أصلا, this I'm sure of, it buys the إزازة المية بجنيه. Sell it for جنيه. Or sell it for 15 ish, I don't mind.
You're not seeing it as a profit source.
It's not the profit source. Why are we trying to turn everything into a union into a business? It's a union that's supposed to be giving cheaper products to the people in the union. This is the idea. That's why we get such a large amount of money. So again, small little cost centers like that throughout the semester. But also what we're trying to do is two other slightly large scale things. Well, 3 other large scale things. One is so clubs a lot of times have deficit and they are in need of liquid cash. Okay, I don't want to support the idea that you shouldn't be financially like stable, or you need to be financially aware of what you're doing. So I'm not going to just pay for the deficit. Start a loan program. So if you need cash right now and you can't get it from the OSD and the CCC is taking too long to make a decision, come to the union and we'll cover your deficit, but it's a loan. Carries forward to the next semester.
Nice.
Pay it back whenever you can. As for the penalties that will be set, that's something to discuss with the OSD. And I spoke to a few people in the OSD. They liked the idea. They said it's not too hard to implement, but again, the regulation of something like that needs to be discussed. But yeah, why not give it to organizations? 1, 2. There are lots of people that have very independent initiatives that don't necessarily have to become a club. Like for example, Alia's women empowerment. It didn't need to become a club, but it needed money. So what did it choose to do?
Club. We
a
need
club.
money,
Exactly. So why not? Why not someone like Alia who had wanted to just get a few speak for women empowerment or is just passionate? Approach the union. This is why we're here. And if you know, there's certain, obviously there are certain, you need to going to fill out certain paperwork, tell us what it is, how much it's going to cost, why do you need that, explain all of this to us, and as long as we have proper documentation of that, sure, why not? The last idea, and it was heavily criticized, but I personally believe in this very strongly, is investment portfolio for the union. So we have finance students that have been through things like ICGE, that have been through 400 level finance courses, that have practiced stock exchange, dealing in the stock exchange with artificial money. Now, if there are 10 students that are selected by the finance department, and I've already spoken to Dr. Sahir and Dr. Sam Awam about this, and they love the idea. Yes. And the point being, why not create a portfolio for them to invest in? And the Egyptian بورصة أصلا واقعة، فالعكس احنا بنساعد مصر في نفس الوقت. We're teaching these students, we're giving them the experience that they need. يعني واحد من 10 دول لو تخرجوا يقول I've invested in the Egyptian stock exchange, you know, like كذا وكذا with my team, and this is the results that I got.
And it can be like an internship for them.
It's exactly like an internship. It's not even an internship. It's a better experience than an internship because they've dealt with real money. When you come to work in a company, you want to go into stock brokerage. When you come to say that I've already dealt with real money, no students have that experience. But that's something that the AUC should be providing. That's the kind of level of experience that we should be providing at universities. However, again, it was why should the union gamble away students' money? I don't think it's gambling if we set the right regulations for it. Okay, so sure, it's an experience, and for them it's a matter of, if you make a certain amount of profit, keep 25% of the gain. I don't need the money back. I'm not saying I don't need the money. I do need the initial investment money back, because I don't need the profits, but keep it. But again, it's 25%, grow it over time.
راديو نص الكوباية، حلقة وصل بين كل جامعات مصر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الإخوة المواطنون، أتحدث إليكم في أوقات صعبة تمتحن مصر وشعبها، وتكاد أن تنجرف بها وبهم إلى المجهول.
Did you understand anything that was going on? Have you been lost in translation? Have things you've been listening to been going through one ear and out the other? The Glass Half Full is here to help. Tune in with Karim and Rihan on نص الكوباية Radio.
Now for the operation part. How are you gonna deal with that?
Well, the plan that's online right now is very direct, straight to the point.
It's detailed.
It's actually, you haven't seen the details.
Give us the website link.
The website link is a Facebook page for now, and again, the plan that's on there is very simple. It just says under each event that I want to do. It's Facebook / SM for AUC 2012, if I'm not mistaken. SM Sheikha Mahchi.
Okay. What is Sheikha?
Sheikha is my vice.
Okay.
Okay. I'm joking, it's fine. Yeah, so that's the Facebook. Like, there's a very small plan, but with me, I've been working on a very specific job description for each and every single member, and I'd love to put that online, but it's still missing the two largest components, which are HR and representation. So before it's ready, I don't want to put it up before it's ready, but it has a detailed job description of each person. Okay. Also, what we're working on is a calendar, so we know exactly when the events are going to be done, and this calendar will be put up online so that students can hold us accountable to it. One of the strongest things that we want to encourage in this union is transparency. I know a million other union presidents have said this before, but what we're doing is we're creating, we're giving them, why I said HR is so important, we've created it into blocks. So if you're a member, you receive, for example, leadership training level 1, communication level 1, and report writing level 1. If you're a head, you receive level 2, leadership level 2, communication level 2, and how to write emails. Because I found that a lot of students do not know how to write emails. And as you grow again, the levels increase, and then you're changing it for more intense programs. Like you move from reports to email, and then from there it becomes into time management. You're actually dealing with all of this too many tasks. So it depends on which level of leadership you're in.